Thank you for joining me for the Vampire Talk Show. I'm your host, Valaine. Val to my friends. My roommate discovered my coffin under the concrete floor of the basement in her new house and woke me up from a 100-year nap. Now, I'm reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, and of course, making a podcast. Tonight is a very special episode, recorded in front of a live studio audience. My Blood Oath Initiate Patreon members. If you want to see this cute little mug, go ahead and sign up at patreon.com/The Vampire Talk Show. Thank you, Michaela and family. And my guest will not disappoint. But first, let's talk about a human thing I find fascinating. The other night, I came home from a small bite at the mall food court. A lovely Orange Julius employee. And I walked in on my roommates, Allie and Rob, watching WWE wrestling. There were scantily clad, muscled bodies sweating and pounding each other in a ring surrounded by thousands of screaming fans. Wrestling, of course, has been around for centuries, originating in Greece, so I was not unfamiliar with it. What I was unfamiliar with was the drama and fanfare surrounding each match. Rob was kind enough to provide commentary while watching to catch me up. So, by my understanding, these people don personas, complete with a particular look, sometimes even painting themselves up just as much as some drag queens do. They sling fighting words and insults on microphones, weaving backstories and rivalries to punch up the drama, and then choreograph fights. Yes, choreograph. Not to say that injuries and pain are not in the ring. They 100% are real. I think of it as testosterone-fueled soap opera. However, there are female wrestlers as well, and after watching a fair amount of this wrestling, I can say without a doubt, the female wrestlers are so much better than the men. Their acting, or selling, is better. Their moves are more fluid and impressive. Even their promos are more electrifying. And you know why? They have to be. All women have to be better than the best of the men to get even a modicum of respect in a male-dominated field. Even a mediocre male wrestler can win a title match. A mediocre female wrestler wouldn't even get a chance. There is one wrestler I have grown particularly fond of. Rhea Ripley, or as fans know her, Mommy. She is gorgeous, evil, and an amazing wrestler. I have my suspicions that she's also a vampire, but turns out she's just Australian. Well, on with the show. Tonight, I am honored to invite them to my first live show with my beautiful patrons. Please welcome an elf from the outer range of the Fey realm, a good friend of mine, Wilhelmina Tumbleforth. Wilhelmina, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi.
Oh, good. The magic mirror is working. I'm so glad. Oh, yes. This magical screen mirror in front of me. I'm so glad to see your face. You're so cute with your little freckles.
Thanks, I grew them myself.
So how are you, Willie? I haven't seen you in over a century, my dear. What have you been doing with yourself?
My goodness, how time flies. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I've just been tending to the ranch. You know, we got a real good crop of fireflies this year. So, I'm thinking it's going to be smooth sailing. We got some behind us right now.
Oh, yes.
Lighting the way.
Oh, yes. You're beautifully lit by those fireflies. Just absolutely gorgeous, darling. So have you heard of this WWE wrestling?
Yeah, Of course.
Yes.
What else do you having a good time? I'm yelling we all the time.
Oh, yes. And you do say we quite a bit, as I remember. Yes, Miss Willie has always been one of those that are just so excitable. You can walk up behind them and just tap them on the shoulder and woo wee and everything else.
Every time. I'm Gasper. You know what they say? Call me Gasper the Friendly Elf.
Oh, so I assume you are growing your vegetables this year in your and on your ranch and whatnot. What are you growing this time of year?
This year, let's see. Well, for obviously we got the pumpkins because, like, the town needs some carriages. So what are we gonna do? Not grow those? Can't do that again.
Absolutely.
There were riots last year. It was just a
Ugh.
nightmare. Let's be honest. Oh my gosh.
I mean, there
It
are
was
only so many
crazy.
things that you can control, the weather and, you know, um, pumpkin
Yeah,
eating
my mama
goblins.
can't control the weather.
Oh, yes. Well, if you get on her bad side, though,
Oh,
not so
she's a
great.
mean one. I'll be honest. She's meaner than a cat on a hot summer day.
Oh, absolutely. How is she, by the way?
She's okay. I mean, she just had her 857th birthday, so
Oh,
she's looking great. Well,
she
I mean,
had
that's
you
what
young, didn't she?
well, no, that's what she wants us to tell her. Let everyone knows. You never ask an elf two things. One, how old are you?
Mm-hmm.
Never, because that's just rude. Like, you're gonna be rude to everyone. And then also, are those ears real?
Oh, that is so rude. That is absolutely rude.
I mean, everyone's getting plastic surgery these days, but I like to keep it all natural. You know what they say.
Oh, yeah.
Homegrown.
Absolutely. Rounded ears are just so gauche, if you ask me. I love a pointed ear.
I like it pointed, let's be honest. How are you doing, Val? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. It's been great. I'm, living with a couple of humans in a place called Maryland, and it's fine. And my producer Allie, she has a sore throat. Poor thing. She can't get on the mic and say anything.
Oh well, tell her I hope she's doing fine. I'm gonna send her some honey. Cure that right up. All those humans, they sick so easy, don't they?
Oh, it seems like she's sick like every week. There's something new. And I think to blame is her niece and nephew, to be honest. They're adorable, but they're germ factories, those two.
Oh, the chitlins, they're always running around, their sticky little hands and everything. Love them, got to, by law, but
Absolutely. Absolutely. Didn't your sister get married a couple centuries ago? Like, how did that go? You were a bridesmaid, were you not?
I was, yeah. Our sweet sister Natalie, she had to change her last name because he wanted it. I'm like, just because he's an ice goblin. So now we got to call her Natty Ice. But, she likes it. It's fine. I don't much care for it. I mean, us Tumbleforths, we're a proud people. And I don't know. Natty Ice just sounds a little cheap,
Yes, it does sound a little cheap. Although a bit refreshing on a hot summer's day, I suppose.
I mean, she's got a crispy attitude, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yes. Well, and so the groom is an ice goblin, you said?
Yeah, he's an ice goblin.
Oh.
He's fine, Evan. I mean, he's fine, but
I mean, a hot-blooded elf plus ice goblin, that just seems to spell trouble to me. I imagine the honeymoon was quite fraught, if I had to guess.
Twisters everywhere, I'll tell you that. You get that hot temp, you get that cold temp mixing. It's a recipe for disaster, I'll tell you that.
Ooh. And where's Buffalo Bill when you need him, Come in and ride that cyclone.
Buffalo Bill? Is that guy that keeps those fellers down in his little thing, tell them always putting lotion on or something, hydrate your skin, keep it moisturized, keep in the lane. What do they say?
That's yes, rubbing the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. I believe that's his cousin, if I had to guess. Yes.
Buffalo Robert, I think, right? Is that right?
Yes, Buffalo Bobby and Buffalo Bill, I think is the way it goes. Yes. Yes. I think one was trying to outdo the other and become the tall tale, and it didn't work out because he got nabbed by some FBI. Anyway, so yes. So how was the reception of the wedding? Did you get hammered on Starlight like usual?
I mean, obviously, it's either moonshine, starlight, sometimes it's grass dust. Let's be honest, it's pollen season, honey, and it's in the air. And I'll tell you what, Do you good?
Oh yes, I've never experienced allergies before. And then, I woke up in Maryland and all of a sudden it's my eyes are puffy, my nose is running, and Allie keeps trying to put something up my nose and squirt it up there, and I just not for me, not for me. Um,
Uh, I heard of those. One of them netty. What do they call them? They got to capture with a net so that they can squirt that water up there. Right? That's why they call them a netted pot.
I think so. Yes,
Yeah.
because I mean, she's got to hold me down like a cat taking a bath, and yeah, it's just not my thing. And I feel so distraught because it makes me feel more human, which is
Yeah.
not for me.
That's
Who wants to feel
it's
human?
giving. You're saying human a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, it's giving me the ick a little bit. But
I
it's I understand you gotta assimilate. Sometimes a human will wander into the Fey realm. Like, why are you even standing in a little mushroom circle? You know it's not good for you.
Oh
They're
yes.
coming in, and I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do. So we feed them to the gators. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you got to feel
I mean,
those gators somehow.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not our fault, they're wandering through the swamp and I got to say it would be homophobic if we fed them to anyone but the gators. I mean, the straighters, everyone knows that they're vegans usually and they're not going to eat the humans, so we got to do what we got to do.
No,
You wander
no.
in a swamp, gator's going to get you.
Yes. Gators no hate like at all because the gators, the zaters, and the shaters, I think are going to rule the world. The straighters can just dip out if you ask me.
Honey, you hanging out with the zaters again? Why don't you invite me? Come on, I love a little sparkle.
Oh yes. Well, I will invite you. And the sparkle is for real. And blinding. So it's hard for me to hang out with the Zetos and the sparkle, but we make do. And I heard you say ick earlier. Is that one of those Gen Z terms that I hear so often?
Oh, no. Oh my God. It's a virus. You never heard of this?
I, ick is a virus.
Yeah, Icacellamania.
Oh no! Oh, what are the
Honey, you gotta get
symptoms?
vaccinated. All those humans are walking through. They got them bacterias. They got the Icacellamanias going around. Some of them will sneeze right in your face. Did you know that? Right in
Oh,
your face.
oh yes, no. Humans are disgusting. Most of them don't even wash their hands.
That's what.
And this pandemic happened, and it's like, well, what did you expect? Oof.
I know.
I'm so glad I missed most of that. Being
Oh, you were
asleep.
taking a real long nap, weren't you?
Absolutely, yes. A super long nap, too long, and I don't even know how it started. To be honest, I was in New York
Real.
and I fell asleep, and then
Mm-hmm.
I woke up in Maryland, and apparently I was covered in concrete. So I have no idea how that happened.
Concrete.
Hmm. I don't know.
Who's
Maybe
that? What's
Mhm.
concrete?
A concrete is like a liquid stone, and then once it dries, it is firm, terra firma. So yes, you have never heard
The
of
humans are
concrete.
No, are you kidding me? The humans are making stone into liquid now? What's
Yes,
next? Gas? Oh, we gotta settle them down. They're getting a little rowdy for my taste, I'll tell you that.
humans are the rowdiest. They're so loud and annoying. Although we can't say too much about that because they do support this podcast. And I do love
Oh,
the humans that do support this podcast. So thank you, humans that are actually good humans and can enjoy the fantastical people on this pod, like my friend Willie here.
well, everything that I done said about the humans, I was just saying it's a bit. I'm committing to a bit, and I'm a big fan of all them. They're humans, and if you humans got your little coins, you could just throw Val's way. I mean, she's got to, I think you got to pay rent now because you're living with humans or something. I don't know how that
We
works.
haven't discussed that at all. I'm freeloading currently. So
You should have given me a list of topics to not talk about because, honey, I don't know. Can't talk about human. I love
what live
man.
this is what live events are all about. It's all about the mistakes, you know. That's nobody watches SNL for the straight people. They watch it for the cracking. They always watch it for people laughing. And I just realized you can't see my hand at all when I'm gesticulating because there's black.
I mean, I
over
can.
Here. Okay.
If humans have bad eyesight, I could see your hand.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Oh,
Technology. Anyway.
You know what elf eyes see? My cousin Legolas is always looking out 10,000 yard stare. I'm like, what are you looking at, Leggy? He's like, well, what do your elf eyes see? I'm like, I don't know, some little hobbits or some shit over there. Always eating our potatoes, I swear.
How is Legolas? Are you jealous that he's gotten so famous for his role in the trilogy?
Oh, no, you know that Leggy. He was always born for Hollywood. We're always saying he was always putting on his little plays and hanging out with his bud Gimli. I'm like, oh, he's fine, I guess. He's a little slow, to be honest.
Yes, dwarves are such a bore sometimes.
Real hairy, that one, I'll tell you that. One time, Gimli let us wax his back. That was a hoot, tell you that.
Oh, I can only imagine. Did you sell them the strips as rugs? Because I'm sure they were just as thick.
Oh, yeah, my Mima, she knit a couple sweaters out of it. I'm going to be honest. They're real warm, a little too toasty.
Ooh. Hey, hook me up because I think that would be a great Christmas present for some human that I might know that might need a Christmas present from me at some point.
Ooh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ooh, goodness.
Christmas?
Yes.
Is Chris hanging out with you too? I haven't seen him. Oh boy, I haven't seen him since. Whew, when was that? I don't even know.
Probably 32 or 31, year 31, I would imagine.
Oh, that was a great year. You remember when we were going through those cornfields? Year 31.
Oh,
was that with you? I think it was. I think it was with you, and was it your?
I hate to admit, but yes, it was me. I was not at my best at that moment. I was drunk on wino on that day.
Oh, honey, I don't even remember my 400s, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, that was a hoot and a half right there. What are you going to do? Remember every year? There's too many. Let's be honest. I don't want to. The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
And they won't stop coming.
Boy, I tell you what, it's a little too much, but I'm going to say it. Mm-hmm. That beauty rest, it did you good, girl. You looking mighty fine.
Oh, my goodness, Miss Willie. Don't you start flirting with me because then I'll turn off the cameras.
Oh, Miss Ma'am, you know I can't do nothing but flirt with you. Let's be honest.
Oh, come on. Don't make me blush. My pale pallor is my moneymaker. So, Miss Willie, have you been to the seventh dimension recently? Weren't you that I used to be a gossip columnist, so I hear things. Were you in the seventh dimension with Agatha the witch? And were you seen possibly making out in a dark corner? Is there something serious happening there?
Well, I mean, how serious can you be with Agatha? Let's be honest. I mean, she's got beaux. She's got everyone just wanting her. So I understand. Actually, that night I got kicked out of the seventh dimension. See, it was a tragic line dancing accident. I kicked over a little lantern, and it lit a small fire and burned down a couple villages. But it's fine. I mean, we helped them, raise those barns right back up, and it's probably fine. I do have to wear a disguise now when I go in there, and I mean, I haven't talked to Agatha. She's real mad. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean,
you know how to make an impression, Willie. Oh my goodness.
It's my fault. I'm clumsy. I got 2 left feet. two left hands. I don't know why I was born that way.
Yes, it is. It is always fascinating to see you running because you always seem to go in a circle. You always just veer off into a circle, and then people get confused, and it's like, oh no, we have to write her again. Sorry, let's restart
Some of
her.
us are athletes. Some of us are mathletes. I'll be honest.
Although I feel
am.
like you're kind of an athlete because you're, you are on a ranch and you're throwing bales of hay and whatnot. Although elves tend to have like superhuman strength, don't they?
Oh
Do
yeah,
they?
we're super strong. I mean, I didn't know we were super strong until I started meeting some humans. I was like, why are they so scrawny? And they're like, I'm in 5th grade. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but why are you so little? Try to make them lift up a bale. They're like, I only weigh 50 pounds.
Mm.
It's like, what's a pound? These humans are saying all this stuff. I don't even know what it means. We don't, I mean, do you use pounds?
No,
I thought we were all using grim doors.
I was using uh the baleful system, which is I think like mostly like hell currency sort of dimensional
Oh yeah.
measurements, which is six coffin nails, and I think like a handful of blood, and an eye full of scorn, that sort of thing. When I woke up and people were saying pounds and ounces and inches and whatever, I was like, wow, Americans will use anything other than the the system. Like I don't get it.
They won't even use the metric system. It's crazy, honestly.
I know, it's absolutely insane.
I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it. I also don't understand all this slang term that they're using. One of them said "no cap" to me. I was like, "No, I got my cap on. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh yes,
I
no,
don't not sure what that means. Dead ass? No, honey, this ass is alive. So I don't know where you're looking at, but she's kicking.
Oh yes, you do have a kicking ass, I will say. Yes, and I have heard the dead ass thing as well, and I thought they were talking to me because I am undead. So so I thought my cover was blown because I have to keep it on the DL. Do kids still say DL? I'm so behind. My education has only gotten me to like the early 2000s so far, so I'm getting jiggy with it, and that sort of thing. But I'm not totally up on Gen Z speak, as they say.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're saying. I mean, I'm definitely getting jiggy with it if we're being honest. And have you heard the Spice Girls?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, they're great. I found this compact disc called Now That's What I Call Music 5. I can't find the other four if I'm being honest, but it's great. It's a hoot and a half. There's a lady called Macy Gray on there.
Oh, yes. Try to walk away and I choke, or stumble or whatever it is. Yes, I think I got them mixed up, but
Stumbling all over. I was like, I feel that, Macy. It's tough out there for people with two left feet. I wonder if she's got two left feet also. I'd like to talk to this Mrs. Gray.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I actually, Allie still has her CD gloves, and they're not like gloves like I'm wearing. They're like sleeves for. That's so weird. There's two kinds of clothing items that they use for CDs. That's odd. Anyway, so she has like, I don't know, 1,000 CDs, and because she's been working me up through the century, little by little. So I've been listening to a lot of CDs on a Discman, and I do know about
That
the
like a little
nows.
feller that spins it real fast, makes the music come out.
Mm-hmm. And then it comes through headphones like the ones I'm wearing right now. And yeah, it is fascinating. And so I'm very well versed with the Now CDs. The first one is a banger through and through. The other ones, they're all right. But the first one really just hit home, had all the hits on there. It had Janet Jackson on there. Wonderful.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm a big fan of her work.
Oh, yes.
Big fan of all of them Jacksons, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, it helps when you're, part demigod, to be honest. The king of pop,
I mean, how long have we known the Jacksons? Like, let's be honest. They were up there living the life of a demigod, and we're all down here just regular fae doing our thing, toiling in the fields. I mean, we don't actually touch the dirt. Like, let's be honest, we use magic to do all of that. But,
yes.
It's a hard day's work.
Yeah.
It's a hard night's work for you. I'm sure you got to. I heard, Val, is this true? I heard you've been draining your own victims.
Yes, I have. I don't have a familiar. Everybody assumes that Allie is my familiar, but she really is not. She is her own person. So I've been doing my own sort of work. It is a great departure from what it was before. Because before my big nap, as I like to call it, I had servants, I had a familiar, I had all kinds of staff helping. Just my luxurious lifestyle in my penthouse apartment in New York. And now I'm here in Maryland getting my own blood. Please don't tell anybody.
Oh, I won't, honey, but I'm so proud of you doing a little blue collar work. It looks good on you. Tell you what.
Thank you. You're such a sweetheart.
Miss Val out there. What do? You fry that blood up? How you eat that? You mix it with a little vodka? That's what I would do. I don't know about you.
Oh, no, I like it uncut personally. The purer the better. But I do love some wine blood when I can get it. So basically just find any wino on the street and then, drain the sucker dry, to be honest. But yeah.
Wow, that sounds great. So if you drink a feller that's been drinking some moonshine, you get a little light on that? How's that working?
Oh, yes. If I have blood that has alcohol or any other drug in it, I get to feel the effects, which is quite nice. That's why anytime I have any blood from Allie, I tend to get a little bit stoned because she's kind of a stoner. Don't look at me like that.
Those humans, they love eating rocks. I don't know what I was talking about. We're getting stoned. All right, honey, that can't be good for your teeth. I'll tell you what. But, who am I to talk? These are all fake.
Oh, yes. No, I can't do fake teeth, unfortunately. If these get cut off or anything like that, they just grow back. So I don't have to. No, I don't have to go to the dentist. It's fantastic. Cannot tell you.
Wow.
Yes. Well, and dentistry has come a long way. So I can't really complain. Back when I was human, dentistry was not that great. So it was basically someone with a stick and a rock, and then they just jam it into your mouth. So
I always forget that you was a human at one point. What year was that? Do you remember?
Oh my goodness. I think I'm 600 or 700 years old. Vampires are so bad at math. I don't know if you know this, but we are terrible at math. And even just counting is difficult for us. Like if there's like a bag of rice or something that spills before us, we have to count that. And then...
The whole bag?
Yes. And then we lose count. And then we have to start over again. It's just... So when you become a vampire, you also just become obsessed with counting things for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, how many pearls are on this rose? Maybe no.
Oh, honey, don't look at that. Don't do it.
Ooh.
Don't. You're gonna.
I'm not
get
even
lost
going to
in
look.
that rose.
Not even going. I mean,
it's looking lovely, but I gotta tell you what, that sounds like an awful waste of time counting. I don't do math. I'm not an athlete. I'm not a mathlete. I'm into ghoul math. You know what that's about?
Oh, ghoul math. No, please enlighten me.
Oh, it's so easy. It's like when you return something to the store and then they're giving you back all your girl grams and you're like, wow, now I have like 8,000 of those. So it's like I made money
That makes
You know what I
sense to
mean?
me completely.
It makes
Yes.
perfect sense. Or like when you're using a coupon and you get a
Mm.
discount, you're earning money. That's how that works. I mean, Google Math is I got substantial credit card debt if I'm being honest, but I think it all evens out with the Google Math.
Hmm. I think also treating yourself is an investment rather than a waste. I think that also applies with Ghoul Math, if you ask me.
I could not agree more. I mean, sometimes I just need a little treat to get through the day.
Mm, don't we all? Especially in this day and age, you know? Oh, my goodness.
I went over to the human side of the swamp the other day,
Ugh.
and they got this place called McDonald.
Oh,
You
yes.
know him?
Very well.
Yeah, some kind of farmer's restaurant or something, right? Old McDonald's place. So I was going in there looking for some fried chicken or something, and they had these hamburgers. Turns out there's no ham in them. Like, why are you humans naming all this stuff, these crazy things? But they had this delightful beverage called a Diet Coke.
Mm.
They're that farmer McDonald knows how to grow a Diet Coke. I'll tell you that. I don't know how he's doing it.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I will say I'm pretty sure it's a cup full of chemicals that you're drinking. It doesn't come from the earth. Yes.
He's not like milking some kind of Diet Coke, like you know how like when you milk a dragon, like you're gonna get, dragon, you're gonna get that green milk from them.
Yeah.
That's not what Diet Coke is. It doesn't grow. It's not like you're bust open like an apple or something and all the juice comes out. You know when you bust open an apple and all the juice pours out?
When you split it in half and then juice just pours right out. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. But no, Diet Coke comes from a plastic bag that they put into a box and then they have a spigot. And yes, my dear, you've been around for so long, yet you're so behind on so many human things. But you're liking the Fae realm mostly, aren't you?
I don't like going to the human places, honestly. I mean, one time a human, I think it was, what year is it? 1984. They gave me a little packet called Pop Rocks. They're like, it's great. Just put it on your tongue. I started floating up in the air. I can't handle that sort of stuff. That's not for me. I said, whee! Just like that wrestling match. You know what I mean? I was about to wrestle someone for giving me them Pop Rocks, but that's not a rock where I come from, honey. And after that, I just, that's not for me.
Humans don't know that you can't give sugar to an elf. You just can't, because they'll just float away like a helium balloon, Yeah,
absolutely. And also, if they ate any of our food, we get to keep them as pets. And I got to tell you, that's kind of fun.
Oh, yes. Are they working the farm for you?
Oh, no. We just have them doing pedicures. Like, we're trying to take it easy on them.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. I like that idea. Well, Willie, it's been so nice to catch up with you. I am so glad you're on our live show. Hello, patrons. Yes, I know you're still here.
Hi, human.
But now it is time for paranormal gossip. Alrighty. So, for paranormal gossip, the Tooth Fairy has gone rogue. I repeat, the Tooth Fairy has gone rogue. So, several weeks ago, the Tooth Fairy was seen getting completely hammered at Dante's Tavern in the third circle of hell. She was reported to be belligerent and wailing about the difficulty of her job. It's like, yes, we get it. You have to give money for teeth. Big deal. Anyway.
Honey, it's not that hard. We all got tooth collections, okay? Just get over it. You don't want to do the job. Just apply to the post office or something.
Absolutely. Airmail would be great for her. Anyway, so she was swinging around her sack of coins and hit some fellow patrons. Although not very hard, because she is a wee little thing. On her way home, she stopped off in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and decided to toss quarters at the Mothman statue instead of doing her job, which is taking children's teeth and giving them coins. she had realized that she had sunk a few into the statue's ass crack, and she started to make a game of it. However, as we've seen, one drunken night from the Tooth Fairy caused a viral challenge. Now humans are putting quarters into the crack of the hindquarters of our dear Mothman. Although, I will say, Mothman could not be reached for comment. I guess I'm just not popular enough for him. Just saying.
Oh, have you tried paging him? Because I think he got his cell phone shut off.
Oh, really? Oh, is Mr. Too Big for His Britches starting to feel a squeeze? Well,
I mean, those britches are full of coins. So you just page him. He'll find a pay phone, put in some of them coins. He'll call you right back. It's not that hard.
whew. If you have a bit of gossip, a misconnection, or a personal sad to share with the show, please email thevampiretalkshow@gmail.com or slide into my DMs on Twitter, Facebook, Insta, or TikTok. Thank you, Willie, for being on the show this evening. I hope you had a good time, and hopefully you'll come back very soon.
Oh, of course, honey. It's always so much fun. And to the humans in the chat, it was nice to make your acquaintance. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you to my patrons for being on the show tonight, technically, and for your wonderful laughy comments in the chat. I really appreciate it. Well, that's all for the show tonight, kitties. And remember, embrace the dark, the strange, and unusual. It just may embrace you back. Thanks to Noelle from Quite Unusual for being our guest today. You can find them on the Quite Unusual podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Please consider becoming a Patreon member of the show. You can be a Baby Bat Sticker Club member, where you get stickers every month, or you can be a Tarot Speakeasy member, where you can get a tarot reading and tarot cards sent to you every month. Please subscribe on patreon.com/The Vampire Talk Show. This has been an Opus Nox Media production. To find out more, go to opusnoxmedia.com.